With Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness just around the corner, my mind is running rampant with potential theories and plot points. While I'm almost certain none of these will actually come to fruition, I'm still going to articulate them in hopes I become known as a Marvel genius in forethought. Some of these will apply directly to Doctor Strange, while others are more general Marvel theories I've had brewing for ages. First off, I want to talk about how everyone thinks Deadpool is in the movie, because someone zoomed in on the poster and found a glass shard that sorta kinda might look like Deadpool. I don't actually think the little shard is that compelling to begin with, but I have an idea as to how and why he's in the movie, and I hope it's the case because I think it would be absolutely hilarious. If he just randomly shows up, it wouldn't really make much sense for the plot since he's not typically a member of the Illuminati, nor is he a multiversal threat. So, either it's just a quick cameo for the fans, or, and this is what I'm hoping, he for some reason knows about the Illuminati and is asking all the members to let him join, but no one will, so he runs up to Doctor Strange and asks to be brought along. I think this would be very in character for Deadpool and would be super funny since in the comics he's often trying to get people to let him join the Avengers. Furthering the X-Men theories, this one isn't specifically Doctor Strange related, but there's a pretty simple and comic accurate way that Wolverine can be both recast and still have the Hugh Jackman version in the same universe. There's an Old Man Logan run where that version of Wolverine suddenly wakes up in a different Marvel universe thinking he's been sent to the past before soon learning that isn't the case. This way Hugh Jackman can show up, be like, what is this? Why am I here? And then we meet a new recasted version of him. I'm not entirely sure how Marvel plans to introduce the mutants into the mainline MCU, since several characters have origins that exist well into the past, such as Magneto and Wolverine. After Ant-Man and the Wasp had the Janet Van Dyne reveal that she evolved in the quantum realm and that the quantum realm is relevant to time travel, they could simply have a quantum explosion throughout time that causes mutants to suddenly show up and have existed always. This would probably raise more questions than answers since it would completely disregard the MCU timeline and essentially change everything that we've seen thus far. Which is why Wanda might pull out a variation on her classic line from the comics and say, more mutants, to perhaps save the X-Men universe by combining it and the MCU for whatever reason. This could theoretically lead to the common mutant narrative of everyone else in the world hating and fearing them since they suddenly emerge into the universe, terrifying all the normal humans with a sudden surplus of superpowered individuals. Or of course, they could simply have various universes existing alongside one another so the mutants don't have to emerge into the MCU mainline universe and have it lead to an eventual multiversal war. There is a theory floating around that Professor X simply mind-wiped the Earth into forgetting that mutants existed, so that could also be the case. But then I think the Avengers would be pretty pissed that they didn't help much with Thanos unless they somehow did without anyone realizing. They could also introduce Galactus in Multiverse of Madness. Galactus' origins often come from him being the sole survivor of a dead universe that combines with the consciousness of said universe. If they have to kill a universe in Multiverse of Madness, it could inadvertently create a new threat such as Galactus. Within this film, they could also introduce a version of the Fantastic Four who act as multiversal agents that travel between different universes and tackle various threats while also learning, because the Fantastic Four are all about learning. And this brings me to Doctor Doom. Firstly, I very much worry Doctor Doom will be introduced as an Iron Man replacement, since there is an admittedly phenomenal run where he takes on the Iron Man mantle once Tony Stark dies. As great as I thought this run was, I do not wish Doctor Doom's character to be solely based around this. He's a much more complex character, and I think this would do him a disservice. If there is a version of Iron Man in this movie, perhaps played by Tom Cruise, and if he's known as a madman or enemy of the Illuminati, there's a chance he could tie into Ironheart in some way. In the comics, an AI version of Tony Stark mentors Riri Williams. I love this idea, but think it would be a tad odd if it's Robert Downey Jr.'s version, since the likelihood of him creating an AI and not giving it to Spider-Man in Far From Home, which I thought was the case before Peter put on the sunglasses, wouldn't make much sense narratively. This could mean that Riri Williams has a Tony Stark AI mentor, but it isn't the one we know, and it's potentially villainous. It could lead to an interesting plot point of Ironheart having to learn that what her mentor is saying may not be the right thing, and making the choice to disobey them and become a hero on her own. This has probably been theorized already, but I haven't paid much attention to theories on this movie. I think the potential version of Iron Man we might see built the Ultron AI and it actually worked, not turning evil, effectively putting a shield around the world. This could have gone to his head and made him obsess over building further protection, or even lead to him becoming a tyrannical ruler over Earth. This could lead to him hoping to protect not just the Earth, but his entire universe from the multiverse. Or he was invited into the Illuminati, but had completely different ideas than the rest of them, forcing them to hate and or fear this version of Iron Man. There's also a chance we see the appearance of the Molecule Man, who is often described as the most powerful being in the multiverse, except for the Beyonder. I have not heard anything about him being in the movie, nor any rumors of casting, or even his name mentioned alongside any MCU news or articles or whatever, so I'd be surprised by this one, but it's possible, I suppose. He could be a Kang variant, or maybe the thing that Kang fears the most, which is why he's trying to minimize the multiverse, even though that wouldn't make entire sense given the plot of Loki, but still possible, I suppose. Anyways, I think I, along along with most people, are extremely excited for this film and it comes out in a few days. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, comment, let me know your theories. Let me know why my theories are really stupid, because they're probably not going to come true. None of them. But that's okay, because who cares? It's fine. All right. Thank you. Love you.